Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Cabaret is set in 1930 and 1931 in Berlin, specifically in and around a club called the Kit Kat Club. This club is a cabaret, hence the title of the show, and one of the main singers at the start of the piece is Sally Bowles, who moved to Berlin from England. We are also introduced to a man called Cliff Bradshaw, an American wannabe novelist, who has come to Berlin to find inspiration. As he arrives in Berlin on New Year's Eve, he meets a man called Ernst Ludwig, who quickly introduces him to the party scene at the Kit Kat Club. It is here that he meets Sally Bowles, and the rest of the show follows their relationship. There is also a subplot following the relationship of Frau Schneider, Cliff's landlady, and Herr Schultz, a Jewish fruit shop owner. There is also the MC, a mischievous character who takes us through the plot and also comments on it as it goes along. Obviously, the rise of the Nazis is very heavy in the play, and this impacts a lot, especially on Herr Schultz and Fräulein Schneider's relationship. However, it does have drastic effects on every single last one of the characters. Overall, I think I would probably class Cabaret as one of my favourite musicals. I think the music is fantastic, I think the dancing is usually just so good, and I also think that the use of the cabaret and its downfall as a symbol for the rise of the Nazis is very clever. Which brings us on to the current touring production in the UK, which is produced by Bill Kenwright. Overall, I think it is a very good show, and I do like the production, although sometimes it can be a bit too sort of sparkly and camp for my liking. I really love the staging, as there are 6 blocks at the back that represent different rooms and things that are going on in different characters' lives while the main story is happening at the front of the stage. I think this way of setting it is very clever, especially as the plot follows several people's lives, not just Sally and Cliff. I also like the way that the cast actually drag on and off pieces of set, not have blackouts and stagehands do it as they would in a conventional production. However, one production choice I'm not so fond of is the use of ladders. Now, these are used as a sort of mode of transport for a lot of the piece. For example, MC is often carried around on one, and in the scene set at the train station, the ladders are constantly moving back and forth. However, I don't think it works. I mean, the ladders, and they seem fairly random compared to the rest of the staging. As for the acting, I could say similar things. I mean, some of it was really good, but other bits just severely lacked. For example, the leads. Sally was really good. During some of her songs in the second act, I was literally brought to tears. However, I think at the start of the piece, she was a bit too overexcited. I mean, I realised that Sally is an excitable character, but she did seem to be overdoing it. As well, Cliff was really good, but he did seem to lose his accent in some places, and his voice just could get a bit monotonous. He could do with a bit more variety in there. I also really like the supporting principals. Ernst, Fräulein Kost, Herr Schultz, and particularly Fräulein Schneider were very good. However, one principal I think really didn't cut the mustard was MC, played by Wayne Sleep. There have been a lot of good things about him in the press and the reviews, but I really don't feel like he's gotten the grasp of the character. He seemed to keep coming out of character all the time, which was really frustrating to watch. And he kept forgetting words, which, you know, he's been doing the role for about 20 years now, and you don't think that would still be happening, especially in one of the most iconic songs, and the opening number at that. He kept doing this really annoying thing as well, where he would try and get the audience to participate. I just found that all a bit pantomime, really, especially in some of the darker moments of the show where he would just try and get slapstick laughs. It was really annoying. Again, the chorus was very average as well. They were really good in some places, but most of the time they just felt really tired and like they couldn't really be bothered to be there, which bugged me a little. However, on the whole, the singing was great, and the dancing was very good as well. I would recommend this show. I think it's entertaining, and it does the job. but as a fan of the show, I really don't feel it gets across some of the more serious points. But that's just my personal opinion. If you're just looking for a night at the theatre that's enjoyable, I would go see it. One particularly poignant moment in the show for me is a song called Tomorrow Belongs to Me, sung by Hans, who is revealed to be a young Nazi. In this production, the piece has been set in the train station, and there are lots of extras walking on and off in the background and going about their daily business, which I feel works very well, especially as they all leave as the song moves on, except for the two characters who are identified as being Nazis. Then, during the crescendo of the song, MC comes on and removes Hans's jacket, revealing a swastika on his arm. I feel that this is just such a poignant image, especially as you begin the song thinking he's an innocent character. I think it really sums up the hope that was actually behind the Nazi Party in those times. So thanks a lot, I hope you enjoyed this review, and make sure you tune in again because I will be uploading some more soon.
What good is sitting alone in your room? Come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret.